Nice, good stuff.
I know, it's really refreshing.
First bit of recording on the mic is doing ASMR.
Hi guys, welcome to our ASMR.
I'm going to do that. It's going to sound really dodgy. Right. That's disgusting. I'm not going to take that. Guys, if you see this, just now lift it in.
Let's just go over it and just be like, oops.
Okay. Yes, guys, welcome back to the second episode of Outspoken. We are back. We've made it to 2.
We have.
Onwards and upwards. I've got a new trim. For those of you that know me, it's going to be a big shock to the system. The curls are gone.
It's looking good, bro.
Cheers, bro. I appreciate that. But yeah, I'll kick us off. We've got straight in with the deep end on this one.
Mm-hmm.
Can you cheat and still love someone you're...
Very controversial topic.
I think it is. A lot of people have... we can go into that, but I think a lot of people have contrasting views on this.
I think yes.
You think you can?
First of all, I'd just like to say, haven't done it. No, I wouldn't.
But would you say you've ever been in love with someone?
No, yeah.
There you go.
It's a fair point. Yeah.
So I think this is why I find it difficult. Because straight away, if someone asked me that question, because this is how it came up, a girl asked me this question.
Them ones there.
Well, no, we were just discussing like the podcast and like the kind of stuff we were going to speak about, and she said to me, she was like, do you think you can cheat on someone and still love them? And straight away I did just jumped. I was like, no. Didn't give any reason. I just said no, because I think my idea of love is that you're just...
I know what you're going to say, yeah.
You're just so like...
There's no one you would rather...
blinded
yeah,
by
there's
no
way you could cheat because all you think about is that one person.
Yeah, but I don't know. I could be completely wrong, but I think this is...
Oh my God,
we're going to come back to a lot throughout this
you know what's going viral at the moment as well?
The relationships are 50-50.
No. You know Zara McDermott?
Yeah, oh my God.
This whole thing. Oh my God.
Wait, so she cheated on him, right?
She cheated on him with
and then dropped a video.
Someone from the X Factor, like the celebrity thing. And from what I've seen on the video, wherever it's from, I don't know if it's made in Chelsea, I don't watch it. But she, from the sounds of things, she didn't even admit to it. Yeah. She got caught out and then got forced into it. Yeah. But she claims she's only in love with him. But then I'm like, at the same time, I'm like, mate, can you really be in love with someone like that if you've just fucked him over?
Yeah.
For a one night stand.
Yeah, trust me, yeah. So I think that's what it comes down to. Is my perception of love is that that it's just that one person, and therefore you'd never have because again I spoke to
right. Let me give you a situation. Yeah.
Go on, hit me.
You're in a relationship.
Yep.
Lad's holiday.
Yeah.
Right. First night, absolutely fucked. All your boys are single, right? Going out. Everyone's trying to get out of there. You know? Everyone's pulled.
Yeah.
Including you. But you are fucked. Bird leans in for a kiss.
Yeah.
And you kiss her.
Yeah.
What happens?
You've cheated. Bottom line is alcohol.
No, but I'm saying at this point, do you think you would consciously, in that scenario, be like, oh fuck, and stop yourself, or do you think you at that moment you would be like so, I don't know, intoxicated?
Again,
to the point
it's
where...
difficult to say because I don't know how I'd react because I've never been in that situation. But off the top of my head, if I was genuinely, because I feel like I'm quite a good drunk. Like I get into quite a happy mood.
Yeah, I haven't seen you like in a bad mood drunk.
So I feel like I'd just kind of go with it.
Exactly.
See that, and
but is that a bad thing?
I think so. Yeah, but I don't think drinking and being drunk's an excuse.
Right. So we both admit we've never been in love. But let's say have you ever been talking to a girl and you're like, oh, I really, really like this girl, but then.
Yeah, I told you about that one from start of lockdown.
Right. So just think
about. I was head over heels for that guy.
Right. So it is a hard situation. I think. I don't know. Yeah, because I guess if from our perspective, if you are in love, you shouldn't have to because I mean, if I looked at my parents' relationship, I think they're in love. I mean,
yeah, for sure. And I think you can appreciate someone's good looking, but whether that would ever extend any further, I don't think if you're in love with that person, I don't think it would. Because like, for example, I could sit here quite comfortably and be like, oh yeah, Zac Efron, he's a good looking bloke. Do you know what I mean?
You'll think of Zac Efron. You know he's actually bare short. He's like 5'6" or something.
I'm in.
Yeah, man.
No, but like, do you know what I mean? You can appreciate someone's good looking. Or like if you're in a relationship and it comes back to that classic thing where you can watch a film and the girl can be like, oh, he's good looking. You'd be like, yeah, he's
but there's always...
And then you're like, oh, she's quite good looking.
She's like,
when you go marry her then.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but I think if... From my
There's always going to be someone who's better looking, but I think when you've got that link with that person, it doesn't matter because you just refer. Because like in reality, there's always going to be someone who's better looking than the person
for sure. But I think that's what it comes. I think if you are truly in love with that person, you can appreciate someone else's good looks or whatever, but you'd never extend any further than that.
Yeah.
Because you're in love with that person, so you don't have the temptations. Because this is the girl's argument to me was, sometimes the temptation outweighs the risk. I'm assuming the risk being that you're going to lose that person. But I can't imagine if you're in love with that person.
Or is the risk them finding out?
Yeah, and then what happens when they find out? You're probably going to lose it.
But I feel like a lot of relationships in this day and age, I feel like a lot of people forgive it because they see it as like, I don't want to say it's a normal thing because it really isn't, but do you know what I mean? I feel like nowadays compared to like our parents' generation, like, I don't know, like reality TV shows, you see it happen all the time, and it's from both.
Well, it's that the thing I've written down. I've got written down on the thing. I googled it this morning that 42% of UK marriages end up in a divorce.
And I find that mad.
That's nuts. But that's like
just under 50%.
That's like what we were saying about
just in case you
overly
figured it out.
That's just like people overly commit, or they just jump into things too quickly and then realise they don't actually love that person. Which is why I don't think you can love someone and cheat, because if you were genuinely, I don't think the people that cheat are ever in love with that person. Because like we're saying, the things where it's so common is because it's people in relationships that are our age.
Yeah, no, I agree and disagree because I feel like at our age, I agree with your point, but I'm saying like when I feel like when it's older people, I normally feel like they were in love and then it kind of fizzles out, but they've kind of built that relationship up with that person and started a life that they're like, I can't really just be like, oh, bun you, fuck you off.
Yeah, no, for sure, because you've got family and stuff.
Exactly. So they'd rather still do it and then be like, fuck it, if I get caught, I get caught, kind of thing. You know?
But then it's like, are you even in love with that person anymore?
Oh no.
So that's the thing.
But I think what I'm saying is I totally agree. At that point, no, you're not in love. But I think it gets to the point where you're like, well, I can't really fucking leave them, can I? Because you've got so much invested with that person. You might have a mortgage, family, like.
But then so I coming to kind of close that point off. I don't think you can. I don't think you can cheat and claim you love someone. I don't think that's how it works.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Yeah.
Again, like people, if you feel like you have been in love, let us know, because obviously I'm not going to sit here and be like, no.
Let us know if you've been in love, guys.
What do you mean? No, but like, what I'm saying is like, if you have been in love, let me know what your thoughts are.
Oh yeah, your opinion, yeah.
Because I'm not going to sit here and say this and this because I haven't been in love with someone. So
yeah, I mean, I think if we had someone from a perspective where they've been in a relationship.
But even then though, I've been in relationships. I won't ever say I love.
No, but I'm saying like how long was your
relationship?
But how long was it?
They weren't long.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm talking about like a couple of years, yeah. And
even then, at this age, it's obviously you probably say it to that person.
I know people who've been in relationships. Do I?
But I wouldn't, bro. I don't think you love more than one person in your life like that.
Really?
I think once you might think you do, but there's only one person that you're gonna truly fall in love with.
Well, you kind of think like the soulmate route kind of thing.
Nah, not even like that. Makes it sound
bushy
and soppy, innit?
What I'm saying is like you're saying. Let's say for example you fall in love with. This is theoretical. You fall in love with a girl.
Yeah.
Girl cheats on you.
Yeah.
Heartbroken. You're saying you're never gonna fall in love again. Do you know what I mean?
Because I feel like you'd love each other.
No, but you're saying you'd only fall in love once, kind of thing.
No, but then I'm not really in love. That's not the girl I'm in love with.
Yeah, but let's say
it takes two to tango.
Bro, like that can happen.
It takes two to tango.
I know people. I know first-hand situations. I don't think that
person was the person they're actually in love with. They'll find someone that they're going to be more in love with than that person.
Well, yeah, of course, because they've built that relationship, and then she's fucked it. So then your
no, but
love
like
that
what I'm
person
saying
fizzle out.
You might think you love that person, but you don't.
Oh, okay.
And I feel like there comes ideally there should become a point where you're like, this is it. Obviously, I know it doesn't happen like that because people don't meet that one person as such. So I don't think it does happen like that. But ideally, I'd like to think that you kind of like that's it. You meet this one person, you know you're in love with them. Oh yeah, bro, that was nice.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree with that point. I don't. Think
But then actually, that slightly brings us off to the next one quite nicely, which was your suggestion is: can you love more than one person at a time? And my big word for the day, polyamory.
That's a mad word.
That's explain.
If you know what polyamory means,
yeah, shout out you lot.
Yeah.
I had to Google.
Big up.
I had to Google like people that are in love with more than one person, or
Yeah.
people that have open relationships, and I had to try and find out what the word was. I didn't know what it was. But yeah, polyamorous.
So like what I was saying to Ben earlier was like I've seen like one of his TLC shows in America.
I've seen it as well, yeah.
And there's like this bird who
I've
lives.
seen that similar, yeah.
She lives in a house and she seems like really introverted, but she has 2 boyfriends, and the way it works is she can fuck both of them, but they can't meet anyone else. So I question, is it a power move? Like, so she feels in control of everything, and she's like, you know.
And maybe the men like that. Maybe like
Oh mate, yeah. There's some guys who are like submissive, you know, like that thing.
But again, I just don't think you might be happy in that relationship, but I don't think you can say you love both of them.
Wait, what is the actual point of this one?
Well, I was just, can you love more than one person at a time?
I feel like they're... Personally, for me, no. I don't think that's possible. Because I feel like love is a very personal thing. I don't feel like you can share that. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, there's a difference between being like a good friend with someone and saying, like, for example, like if you had a friend of the opposite sex, there was no sexual tension, but you just click, like you get on so well, and it's just like friendly.
Like I feel
you
like
can love that person as your friend.
Let's say you're going out with 2 people, at the same time. Yeah. I feel like either way, you're always gonna lean towards one more.
100%.
Because you're either the convo's gonna bang more, or you're gonna be more attracted to them, or there's gonna be like little personal things or little things, or maybe one pisses you off.
Just a nitty gritty thing that someone does that makes them less attractive. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like you're right with that. There's always gonna be one where you're slightly more.
Because you're always gonna connect. Because love is a very personal thing. It's not like
for sure. Yeah.
You can't just be like, oh yeah, share
this
it out.
This defines love.
Yeah. Like I don't know, because it's just I just feel like it's a one-on-one thing. Like. For like a partner thing, like, because you can love your family and your
of course, but it's a different.
But like,
kind
yeah,
of
exactly, yeah.
But yeah, I thought that was. I don't know. I was having a look at that kind of, and it's becoming more common now as well, which is interesting.
Really,
people like people are, rather than being with one person and cheating, a lot of people are just down to open relationships, which I find really weird. Why? It's almost that comfort to know that it's basically like you have one person, or you have 2 people together, and they can go and do whatever the fuck they want, but they know at the end of the day they're coming back to that one person.
But I wouldn't want that, because that would make me feel like I'm not enough for that person. Do you know what I mean?
But I think it's the comfort thing.
Like
you're both in an agreement that you want to do things and try things with other people, but at the end of the day, you know you still have each other to run back to.
You know?
But I don't obviously.
I don't
know that it is. That's each to their own. Do you know what I mean? But.
But on that topic, do you think it's more of a sexual thing where they're like, oh, I want to do this, and they're like, nah, mate, you can do that with someone else, but you're not doing it with me, but you can like hug me and watch Netflix and that.
It could be. That could very well be the reason. But then you get the one that you mentioned in the car that's obviously slightly weird.
But then surely that person's going to be like, oh yeah, she's up for it. Yeah, she's a lot better, you know?
Maybe. Maybe that's what you want. But then...
It's time to drink water. That actually is. It's more violent.
But then surely you'd be like, oh, because what was it you said in the car where it was like, obviously people have the weird fetishes where they might like seeing someone else have sex with their partner. Does that come on? I wonder if that comes under the same thing with polyamory. I don't.
That's just weird. like, I'm sorry if you like that. It's just, nah, mate. Unsubscribe.
Whoa, hey, no. Subscribe.
Nah.
Make sure you like the video. Come on, all of that. Turn the bell on. Bi-weekly uploads. No, but yeah, but then I suppose it's like, does that come under polyamory? Like, is that what that counts as?
I don't know.
the ins and outs of it,
Look, all I'm saying is personally, not for me.
Yeah.
I don't know what you get out of it.
Open relationship.
I feel like I don't know.
So you wouldn't try it? You wouldn't be in an open relationship?
No, look, like, see, I feel like, I don't know, if it's a non-serious thing.
I think I'm too jealous for that.
No, but it's not that, yeah. I feel like this is early stages. Because you could.
Well, but people are in long-term.
Yeah, but could you consider polyamory, whatever the fuck it is, Pythagoras, that thing? Yeah. A squared plus B squared. I don't even know what I was saying. No, I feel like, can it still be that in like early stages of relationship? Like, say you're not like a official, but you're seeing other people. Does that count? Or does it have to be like, you're wiped up?
It's like an agreement thing where it's like, you know this is going to happen and you're okay with it.
I don't know, I just find that a bit strange.
I just don't think personally you can love more than one person at a time, and I don't think you can cheat on someone if you love them. End of.
Yeah, that ain't a bit of me, not gonna lie. Nah.
Yeah, no. But then, I don't know, it's weird. It is weird. I think like you said, there's a lot of people that are going to have different opinions around that kind of topic. So it'll be interesting to hear some. I'm gonna go after some people and track stuff down.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving on to the next point.
Yeah.
We've got written down, how comfortable are you, or how comfortable would you be if your significant other was the so-called like breadwinner within your relationship?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have a sugar mummy. Go get that bread, you know.
I'll
stay at home. I'll hoover the kitchen.
OnlyFans girls, hit me up if you're making bread for OnlyFans.
Mate,
I'll clean the house, I promise.
I'll clean the house. I'll make the dinner, starters, mains, and desserts. You know.
Be spotless. No, see, I think there's like we spoke about earlier. There's differences. So like the ideology that people have of like, not ideology. That sounds bad. I'll take that back. It's not ideology, but like. The image of being the breadwinner is more like a male being a footballer or a rapper, where then the other half doesn't really do much.
It's not even that. I just think it's like males like throughout our lives, like through like media and like history, it's just always been like, males should make the money, you know.
But I think there's a lot of people that would be fine with their wife.
Oh, I could be completely fine. Like, I don't think
having a better paid job.
I think,
but you're both still working.
I think
that's
it
the
comes.
difference.
Yeah. Like it's like I said to you in the car. I would rather have a wife who made more money than me, than be someone who just like sat at home and I'm just making all the money and they just kind of
see. This is what, if I'm making bread, and I'm talking bread.
If I'm making,
I don't care.
No, that's different. If I'm making like bread
yeah.
to the point where like I'm like I can look after you and like all of that, then fine. But I'm not. I'm saying to the point like I wouldn't ever be like, right, you can stop working now. You know, I've got all the money. Stop. Yeah. Like I wouldn't do that.
But I think the reason for that is if you're both working, you're both striving to achieve things, you're gonna bounce off each other.
Yeah, exactly. That's the kind of energy I want. Yeah. I want someone who's gonna like hype me up, like someone not in competition.
Someone tell me my podcast is shit and tell me to do something else.
Yeah, exactly.
Not someone who's just like,
yeah, it's whatever, you know.
Yeah, like genuinely, I think if you're both working,
buy me a bag.
Yeah. Can I have the Birkin bag? No, if you're both, I think if you're both working.
Sorry, just a quick thing. You know, Birkin bags, you can't actually just go in and get them, but you can't buy them.
What?
Like, you actually have to have, like, because I was...
You have to have a plug?
No, not even that. You have to have, like, I think it's from Hermes. Like, is that... Yeah, they're the people, like, Hermes. You have to... Hermes, yeah, no, you have to, like, build up rapport with them and they put you on like a waiting list. Like you can't just go out and buy one unless it's from like a resale thing where that's where like you make bare P. But like if you actually want one, you've got to.
That's nuts.
Yeah, no, it's a bit mad.
That's nuts.
Yeah, I know. Like Victoria Beckham's collection is like worth over like stupid.
Oh, I don't even want to.
It's like over some like 20 mil. Like just in bags.
There'd be no.
It's like Drake's got tons.
Waiting list. This brother, hi, I'm David Beckham. They'd be like, how many do you want, sir?
Yeah, no, it's mad.
Yeah, that's mad.
But yeah, no, going back to that, I would not have a problem at all with that.
No, I think if you're both working hard.
But I think in our culture, I think a lot of, I don't think everyone's like that, and I think it comes from a place of insecurity.
And it's like, oh, but what if she then meets someone who's earning more than me? Is she gonna bin me off?
I get that. But I think it also comes from a point of view like, oh, she's better than me, all of this, and like, oh, I should be making money. She's gonna they feel like it's an intimidating thing, like, I'm not doing good enough, that kind of thing. Where in reality, it ain't gonna be like that, you know.
But I think I'd have an issue if like I couldn't just sit at home. I'd go nuts. I'd actually go nuts. Like I couldn't just not do anything. Now don't get me wrong. Even if, regardless how much money my wife is making, I wouldn't be able to just sit at home. I'd have to do something.
Let's switch it then. Like we were saying from the point of view of like, oh yeah, we make all that money. What if they made all that money? Like what if they made bread?
Yeah, but regardless, I couldn't.
I'm not saying you have to become a housewife.
No, but I couldn't sit at home. I could do something minimal. Like I could go and do like a couple hours a week here and there.
Yeah.
As long as I'm busy the whole week and I've got things.
I'd have to have like a side hustle, something to work towards.
You'd have to, bro.
Like I think it's like Corona. Like that's what Corona taught me. Like the first month, you're like, this is sick, yeah, and then you watch everything on Netflix, and you're like,
yeah, and you just don't have things to do, yeah, and your mind just starts going nuts.
Yeah.
So and I think I genuinely think I'd become depressed if I just sat at home.
Yeah. Well, what if it's like a mansion?
Still, bro, you're gonna run out of things to do at some point.
Not if you got your wifey's card.
Bro, you can only swim laps in that pool at a certain amount of time.
You can book a holiday.
Ordinary.
You know?
And where are you going? By yourself?
Get the man them over.
Going by yourself.
Bro, hire a company.
The man them are working.
Just get your wife to transfer MPs.
Nah.
I get it still. But
you have to. Yeah, I'd have to be doing something. But then another interesting point I put is this like a society / our generation driven thing.
What? Saying that
the
like
whole
guys
insecurity of being
earning
less money.
That has been forced down our throat for so long. Like it goes back to like.
But think about how much has changed in terms of now. Like, sounds nuts, but now women can actually be in the positions to make that much money.
Oh yeah, no.
But then, so why hasn't our society accepted that fact and changed with it? Bro, I just put this on. I swear I put it on the thing.
Sure.
Yeah, so
because it don't happen overnight. Like, and
well, yeah, but nor did women's rights. So why hasn't, as they've got their increased rights, why haven't men become less insecure about stuff like that?
Because I think in the back of their mind they're always going to think like, me man, me strong, me must make money.
So you reckon it's like a human nature thing?
Yeah, of course. Like it's always going to be them wanting to be in charge, and I think we will eventually get there.
I agree, but I do think if like society and social media didn't have such an image for this stuff as well, it'd be a lot. Yeah,
but it's forced down our throat every single day. Like you don't think about it, but like
that's what I'm subconsciously,
saying. It's just going to be.
Yes, it's a human nature thing, but I think social media plays a big part of it.
Oh yeah, mate.
It's like you're saying, when it gets thrown down your throat every day, you can't forget about it.
Yeah, and you don't even realise half the time you're seeing it. Like you just won't realise at all.
That's nuts.
Like it could be in TV shows.
But then I actually heard a conversation recently, interesting, about WAP, right? And how there's a lot of now.
WAP.
Yeah. So the song. Yeah.
That song. Yeah.
Yeah, that song WAP.
Cardi B too.
Yeah. And how. Yeah, that one.
Yeah. Okay.
And how like that. It's like not empowerment, but like. Women are more free to speak about things like that now.
Well, yeah, no, 100%.
And
I feel like if that came out in like the 80s, and like women were talking about that,
yeah, it'd be seen.
How dare she talk about that?
It'd be seen as so like, just like against women's nature. Do you know what I mean? But
whereas like rappers like Tupac and all that, they'd be talking about doing all their things.
DBE.
Everyone's like, yeah, you know.
Yeah, it's nuts, man.
Like, yeah, but DBE, mate,
But that's what I'm saying though. No one.
You can only make so many songs about eating pussy, you know. Like.
Do you know what I mean? It's acceptable. People vibe to that.
Yeah.
But then if a girl dropped a tune that was all about sucking dick.
No, but you see it. I don't know what rapper it is at the moment, but there's like some female rapper who's got beef, and like all the male rappers are just hating on them, saying like this is shit, female beef shit, all of this. But they're just trying to do their thing.
Well, let them do that.
But the male industry, I don't know if that's because they're like, well, maybe their bars are better than mine.
Yeah,
and stuff
maybe
like
they're
that.
coming from, do you know what I mean?
It's all like, yeah, you know.
Comes back to our insecurities.
Yeah, exactly. You know.
I don't know. It's a weird.
Toxic masculinity.
Well read.
Yeah. That was off the dome. What are you on about?
Yeah. Well, that is the next point we've got. We've left it kind of like vague for this one. We just put toxic masculinity on the page, and like, what are your views on it? What are your thoughts?
You go first.
Okay, so obviously, there's like I'm sure everyone kind of understands what it is, but like toxic masculinity is when you feel like all the terms like man up or like you've got to be a man, yeah, like all of those kind of phrases is like making men feel like they have to be like the alphas, yeah. They have to be the big dogs, and it's like this then drives just this toxic behaviour really,
yeah,
where you then don't kind of open up, you don't talk about things, and then obviously as we've seen by the stats, the reason why men are so like, I forgot what the word.
That's a massive. You know what? That's actually probably a massive factor in terms of divorces. You know, because think about from a point of view. Say you're in a relationship with a woman, you don't want to talk about what's going wrong. You don't want to open up.
Oh, I see.
Like,
but this just circles back around to my love thing. Because if you genuinely love someone and you know they love you...
But some people are like that, bro. Like, no, don't get me wrong. Like, I understand what you're saying, but I feel like some people are still to the point where they're like, no, I can't do that. Like, seriously, there are some people who are that... Bro, yeah, there are people...
But I don't think they're in love.
No, but you're seeing it from your point of view. Let's say, for example, yeah, I don't know, your dad was like the most closed-off masculine man ever.
He is. I don't talk about stuff.
But like, yeah, but like let's say it's like an extreme version. I know guys is like that, but like that I think in the back of your head would always be with you, and then certain times you still wouldn't want to open up.
I feel that, but I just feel like.
But I get what you're saying. Yeah, like if you truly are in love with someone, you should be able to say whatever the fuck you want and not feel judgment at all.
Oh, for real. It comes back to what we spoke about in the last episode about friendships.
Yeah, exactly.
And being open with people, and like that's when you're going to be at your happiest. Do you know what I mean? But no, I think. Again, it's difficult because obviously, like you said, it does come back to the like whole like human nature.
Yeah.
Like go all the way back to like cavemen. They were the ones that did like everything and provided. So I think, obviously, that's kind of that's within us. We can't really do much about that. But I feel like as society changes, that thing changes as well. So it's not as heavy now.
Yeah, I think in due time it will happen. But like, it is sad in a way. It still takes this long.
Bro, and think about how this is something which I looked at as well. But the percentages of male suicides is nuts.
Yeah, especially at the moment.
And that's what it comes down to because people don't feel like they can open up. Oh yeah, I saw a stat about it on something. Yeah, it's nuts, bro. Like since lockdown started, the numbers are crazy. Like, but I can see how it happens because I wouldn't say I've been to that point.
Yeah.
But you can see how you get yourself into that mess.
Yeah, 100%.
And get yourself into that kind of headspace.
100%.
It's mad.
And it comes back to our previous podcast where we were talking about like good circles. If you're in a bad circle, you got that.
Well, and that's the thing. I think that is the thing. I think the only reason I've done reasonably well out of lockdown is I had a patch. I did have a little blip, but
I think everyone did.
Having you lot around and just being able to speak to, like, even if it was just having a conversation about like starting a podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
And you lot were like, yeah, I'd be down for that. Like you just give me input, and then I'm like, oh yeah, actually, like there's still things we can do. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's that kind of stuff.
You always find a way.
When you can like, if I was in a circle where I was like, oh, I can't, bro, they won't want to do a podcast. Well, that sounds stupid. Why would I want to do that? Blah 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 blah. And then I wouldn't say it to you lot.
Yeah.
And then all
you
of a sudden,
think it. You want to say shit, and then you'd be like, oh, I can't open up about that because they thought podcast was stupid. So if I say this,
bro, and that's the mad thing is how you can all be in a circle and all be this toxic masculine. Because you won't want to open up to each other.
That's why I think our circle's blessed. Like,
because you all think everyone else is going to judge you. As soon as you get rid of that, you're living. So I do think social media plays a big part.
Oh, 100%.
Like a huge part, and it's nuts. Like,
I think a lot of people put on a false persona, like 100% on social media.
I think I'm guilty of that.
Yeah?
I think I used to do that.
I'd say you used to. I wouldn't say you do it as much now, but yeah, definitely.
I used to, 100%.
I think I used to as well. I don't know. I think because I used to be insecure, but I mean like, and I feel like people act a certain way to please others, and I think that leads into.
The thing is, I think I'm still there. I wore a hat in the last one. I wore a hat in the last episode.
Was that because of the trim?
Because of the trim, bro.
Mate, you ain't got a issue.
No, but it's the thing. Like, I'm getting there because now like, realistically I don't really care. But I can get into mindsets where I'm like, oh, bro, like.
Right, so if you see one comment saying, your trim's dead.
I don't care. I genuinely don't care.
So you're not going to sit in here with your hat on and you go, you know, good. You know,
Like,
don't need that.
Bro, and that's the thing, like, and I don't know, because this is what I always then rethink. It's like, right, so I won't put a picture on my Instagram or my Snapchat, but then if I go out and someone bumps into me, they're going to see my haircut.
Bro, I walk down.
Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Like, what difference does that make? Just because I'm not going to post it doesn't mean no one's going to realise my haircut.
I walked down Beckenham High Street today with 2 trash bags because my dad had dry cleaning and he's quarantining because he went on holiday.
God.
And I came back from an 8-hour shift. My hair was ruffled. I literally looked homeless. I had a hoodie on, shorts, unmatching socks, and I walked in there with 2 trash bags like this. So the looks I got on the street, but I was like, I don't give a shit. I don't know any of these people.
Exactly, yeah.
I can give less of a fuck.
That's the thing, yeah.
But old me, I would have been like...
Well, bro, it's like... And this is a good example, actually, about old me. Is when we did the first one, I posted an actual picture on my Instagram.
Yeah.
So that you can share it to stories, blah, blah,
yeah.
It's easier to, like, push with that.
Old you wouldn't have done that.
No, what, bro, I would have deleted it. I got like 78 likes.
What, and you would have been like, oh, that's not enough.
I would have been like, I can't have that on my page, because if someone comes on my page and sees that, looks bad. I'm being dead serious as well.
I've never had that. I don't think I've ever had that mentality to...
I've deleted pictures of Instagram.
Because of likes?
And even in the first half hour, I'm like, oh, that hasn't done very well.
That's mad. I've never had it to the point where I'm like, 67 likes. Haven't got that many followers.
But the thing is, I think that comes back... Instagram was huge for me back in school, because I went to an all-boys school. So Instagram was huge.
Yeah.
Like, if you had a good Instagram,
yeah,
you were doing well for yourself.
Yeah, I get you.
So I was always of that perception that I needed to get a lot of likes on Instagram.
Yeah, no, that's never been a thing for me, I guess.
Yeah,
but I was definitely insecure about posting shit.
Yeah. It's nuts. I think it's so weird how, like even little things like that, just the way you grow up can determine, how you feel about things. But I do think it's changed, because the next point we've got is how and why, like this, if this has changed, blah, 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 blah. Obviously, we've covered kind of the end bit of it about cavemen and stuff, but like, the things like how and why it's changed. I do think it has changed over the years. And I think people, like, even today, when that thing you sent me about young Philly, open up saying he has anxiety. Bro, back in the day, never. KSI, I reckon back in the early days, KSI would have had the maddest, like... I reckon he did. I reckon he had the maddest, like...
I reckon he still does. Bro,
to an extent. Obviously, the comments still get you, I reckon.
No, it's not even that, mate. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like a lot of people look at all these people... Like, everyone's human at the end of the day.
Have you been watching that Bazinga thing?
Yeah, no, I finished it.
How good is that?
Honestly, like, literally one of the best things I've seen on...
Bro, I was crying. When I tell you, I was bawling my eyes out.
When I found out about him, like, drink driving, like, you know...
and this whole thing about his dad, when he grew up...
I didn't know
his
that...
other dad... Oh, bro.
Can you imagine all the comments and all that?
Bro. Oh, and that's the thing. That's what the first thing that popped in my head is there are going to be people here that go, why you been such a pussy? Like, I went through this. Why are you ever exaggerating this? Blah, blah, blah.
There's always going to be like...
why are you making documentaries?
I went through harder stuff.
Yeah,
like,
do you know what I mean?
Just fuck off. Like, it's not... It's everyone's going to cope with shit differently. Like, someone's always going to have a worse life than you. Like, no one's...
I do think if you're ever in, like, if you ever think you're in a bad way, I'm not saying that no one's going to experience anything worse than that, but if you're in a bad way, someone like him is so good to look at.
Yeah, because it shows. Because
think about old days as well. Think about the comments they used to get on their old videos about him. And now look at him.
Yeah.
But as bolo as hell.
Mate, he's doing bits.
And he did a marathon. And do you know how hard that must have been to do by yourself through the terrain he ran through? Oof.
And no one around you.
That's what I'm saying. It's hard
because when you're on your ones,
hard enough to run a marathon as it is when you've got everyone there.
Going for a mile run on your ones.
It's hard,
me, I'm
it's
like,
hard.
bro, no.
He was running for 4 hours by yourself.
That's mad. Like the mental strength you have to keep doing that, like, and set that pace and just keep it constant the whole time, mate. That's mad.
Nuts, but again, I think it comes back down to the support, because you see how open he is with his mum, and the things they've been through and the way they've dealt with it and spoken about it all, and they just speak about it.
But I definitely agree with what you're saying in terms of men being more open about like mental health and everything that's going on like you
it's
said.
definitely changing, and I think for the better.
Yeah.
Because you're seeing a lot more like supportive things now on Instagram as well. Where like back in the day, if you tweeted something, or like if a celebrity had tweeted something, the meme pages would have been like blah, 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 like taking the piss.
Well, to be fair, like it still happens. Like that's our.
Well, no, but like that's different though because she made a mug of herself. But like,
nah, but
you wouldn't see I'm Just Bait posting Young Philly's tweet going, "Oh, look at this mug."
Nah, but
whereas you might have back in the day because that was the kind of banter because everyone just saw it as banter.
yeah.
But yeah, I think it's mad that like they've done. Obviously, it's changed and people are doing well and like coming out of it now. And I think it's such a big thing. Obviously, it's not going to happen overnight, like you said earlier, but people are definitely gonna feel more comfortable about it.
Yeah, no, 100%.
For sure. The other thing that I've got, which I'm intrigued to kind of hear your thoughts about, is how and why is it so still like heavily driven within our generation? So like why is this whole idea that you have to be an alpha male and you have to be the big dog so heavily driven still within our society? Because it is, I think. What are your views on that? Do you think it is still heavily driven? Obviously there's changes, but...
Personally for me, I'd say no. I don't think it's driven into the point of like, oh, it has to be the man. But I think our generation has a lot of pressure on it, thinking that like, you have to be successful straight away.
Right.
Like with social media and that, like how we covered in the last book, I was saying how like social media has people thinking they've failed life before they're 20.
Rich by 22.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that you could connect it to saying, oh, like that males should be making like a load more money being able to look after their girls because of people on social media, like I don't know, celebrity couples, all this. But now you're seeing a lot more female people coming up through industries. It's like Molly May, mate.
I was going to say, especially if you looked at someone like Tommy Fury and Molly May.
Yeah.
Because she
definitely makes more bank than him.
For sure.
She's like got like 2 collections with Pretty Little Thing or whatever. No, I don't know what it is. I'm not going to say it because I'll get like roasted.
Thing,
is it? I don't know. It might be the other one. I don't even know what it's called.
I think it is.
Is it?
Yeah, I think you're safe for that one.
I don't know.
No.
I feel like it's not.
No.
There's going to be a girl in the comments like, it's Miss Pat. God.
No, I think it is Pretty Little Thing. But yeah, like... that's a good thing we can ask. What do you think about that? Because people were slating her about that giveaway.
No, I actually think she's a fucking... Molly May is a marketing genius. She, no, mate, she fucking is.
No, for sure. I agree.
With that Instagram thing she gave away, she like... I saw some other YouTuber I follow, he like posted her YouTube statistics and she gained like over 1 million views like in that week just from that because she got so many engagements, all these people like sharing this shit. Like, and I'm pretty sure one of the things was like to get entered into, you had to subscribe to her channel. Her subscribers went up like a couple mil.
Nuts.
Like stupid.
Nuts, yeah, crazy. But I find things like that so difficult because people are being...
Everyone's always going to find a way to hate on someone.
Well, and that's the thing, but in some ways I can understand why people were, because at the end of the day she was promoting all this Louis Vuitton stuff. And it's like, oh, look at me, I'm however old she is, and she's giving away $7,000 worth of LV stuff. Does that not give a false image of...
Yeah, but that's like saying... No, sorry, because that's like saying, oh, so if she gave away something like cheaper, people would be like, ugh, you're cheap. Why aren't you...
No, yeah, I get that.
Do you know what I mean?
But this is the thing, like, from playing...
You can't win, there's always going to be some...
playing devil's advocate here, promoting being able to give away $7,000 worth of Louis Vuitton stuff at her age... Do you not think that gives people an image where it's like, oh, why am I not giving away $7,000 worth? And do you know what the worst part is? The reason she's got there is because she looks good at the bottom line. That is the bottom line of it. She looks good.
Yeah, but I think so she's got personality as well.
Yeah, she has. Obviously, I'm not. I don't agree with what I'm saying here. I'm just kind of playing devil's advocate.
Yeah.
Like, some people are going to argue this. So, do you not think that could make people self-conscious? Where it's like, oh, bro, like, I don't look that good.
Yeah, but
therefore,
I mean...
I'm never going to make it.
It's a hard thing, because I feel like there's so many things you can say, and everyone's like, even if you're doing positive stuff, some people may still look at it as a negative. Like,
well, at the end of the day, that is a positive thing. She's giving people that probably can't afford that stuff something nice.
Exactly. No, and she gave it to, the woman who won was like, she just had like a newborn baby. And like... however it's done, I'm pretty sure there's people in the comments like saying, oh, you know this person, this
yeah,
isn't
but you're always going to get that, and you can't do anything like that without it having some sort of negative effect. And the kind of the point I've got at the bottom is like, can we do anything about? Obviously, I'm not saying we're going to change the world here, but like,
no, we are change the world.
For you, like, is there anything you think we can do as like, even just an individual, and like it just changes how people see the whole toxic masculinity and what it means to be a man? Like, what do you think you can do something that might even just change one person's opinion?
It's easier said than done. I mean, like,
no, it is for real, because like, I think, I'll let you finish anyway. Like, what were you going to say?
Well, I think you should always stay true to yourself, innit? But like I said, it's easier said than done. Like, it depends on, like, if you told me that 2 years ago, I would have been like, what? Like, if I can do that.
No.
Like, I'd always act a certain way. But like, if you do, at the end of the day, end up being yourself, I think a lot more people get comfortable with it. They start being themselves. And I think a lot of people conform to kind of socially pressured situations. So like, I don't think a lot of this generation is like toxic, but I think a lot of social media or other people being toxic makes them think like, oh, I should be like that.
I think on the point we made about like comments and stuff being made, it's like, or like on big YouTubers videos, they always say it, it's like the negative ones stand out.
Yeah.
So although the majority of us like generation isn't this toxic masculine, the ones that are still kind of run the show, because they're the loud ones. They're the big dogs, the alpha males.
Yeah, but they think they are.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But they're loud.
No, but
the people still pay attention to that, and the people growing up aren't going to be like, oh, I want to be like that humble kid in the corner. They're like, I want to be like the big dog that's making a scene in this party. Do you know what I mean? But do you know what I mean though? That's the concept I'm going for, is that the negative.
But the thing is, well, I don't think we've even touched on this. I think like some girls actually do like that.
What?
Like toxic males.
Twats.
Yeah. Bro, I've been in first-hand situations where people... Do you know what I mean?
Remember I said in the car, I said I thought of something, but I've forgotten it.
Yeah.
So I was going to talk about the chase.
Right.
Not the game show chase, but like as in...
Love that show.
From both sides, if you give in and you're... I had this conversation with Tainer the other day.
Yeah.
I cracked him with it. He was like, didn't know what to say.
If
you give in, do people get bored? Because I think this is one of the issues with
what do you mean if you give in terms of...
So like... For example, and I had this conversation with Tato, I couldn't respect someone that I have sex with on the first date, and I wouldn't have a relationship with them.
Really?
No.
What if it was like a really good first date and it just happened?
I mean, it's different.
No. See, the thing is,
I'm going to take that back in a minute.
Because the thing is,
the
thing is with you, I'm not going to expose you or anything, but I'm saying like, I feel like, say you've done it. You've done this like a couple of times,
yeah.
But you don't end up seeing them again. I feel like that's why you've got that embedded in your head. Say, wait, I'm not done.
But that's because...
Yeah, wait, I'm not done.
I'm very clear with my intentions.
Right, okay, let's say, you go on a date with a girl, goes fucking amazing, end up having sex on the first date, and then you meet up again and again and again, and you just keep getting a good vibe,
Yeah.
Are you just going to bite it off because you're like, oh, she gave out on the first date?
I think my issue is...
Does that just put it in your head that she's easy and that just means like...
But no, do you know what it is? I think my issue with... Because again, this is on the Joe Weller podcast where he was talking about, I don't understand how you lot, talking to the other two, have sex with the same girl and stay like entertained. And I think this is my issue.
You just got to switch it up, mate.
But I think this is my issue as well. Like, my issue with kind of like the whole dating someone is that I need someone to keep me entertained, which is why I'm saying to you, I could be happy if we were both working, because if we're both trying to achieve things, there's that level of...
You just haven't
I want to achieve this with this person.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like, I don't think I found this person, but
Yeah.
this is my issue. This is why I think...
Mate, it's hard for people to relate on something they can't personally relate to.
But I think I need a level of come and get it. As in...
You want to challenge. I get what you mean.
But I think it's the same the other way around. If I start simping for this girl, first thing, she's going to be like, oh, he's too needy, like, he's too keen.
I know what you mean.
Come
like,
back
if you're too full on.
Be mean, keep him keen.
That's what I'm saying though. It's because I feel like there's a lot of situations, even if it's in movies or it's stuff like that, like a guy who acts like a dickhead gets the bird, that kind of thing.
That's a good point, actually.
That plays into toxic masculinity because people see it and they're like, hey, it works. And it does actually work in most scenarios.
If you thought of a classic, like, American film, the twat is always the one with the girl.
Yeah.
The one who... See, and
if you see any American film, it'll be like a jock.
Doesn't always end up that way, though. Because normally the moral of the story is she ends up with the like, nerd. Or not the nerd, but like the kid that gets bullied at the start. I'm thinking classic, new kid at the school.
Bro, there's a...
Getting bullied by the twat, and the twat's with the twat's with the cheerleader.
I don't know what it's called. If you know what it's called, just put in the comments. There's a film with Ryan Reynolds, and he starts off at this film at the start, and he's really fat. He goes to this party, and he wants to get with this girl, but he just gets mugged off in front of everyone, and she ends up going with this other guy. And then he goes to like 10 years later, he's lost a ton of weight, becomes a massive dick, and he gets laid like every single night. But the moral of the story is, in that film, he realises that he still likes this girl and then goes back to being himself. But I'm saying, like, at the start of it kind of puts it in your head that you're like, oh, if I do that,
if I'm a twat,
it's gonna work, you know?
Yeah. No, I think it's a weird one, because at the same time, if a girl's a bit like too distant, I'm like, oh, whatever.
I like them to keep them on my toes. I know what you mean, because I don't like. There's a very fine line between being toxic and being interesting.
But then is that also a bad thing with society? The fact we're drawing this fine line.
There's never going to be a perfect situation, is there? Because people are always going to find something to moan about. It's never going to be perfect. It's never going to work this way or that way, you know?
Well, like, I'm just playing devil's advocate again here. Like, surely the fact that we've now got this, like, social thing where it's like, oh, you can't be too nice. Because I used to get told this all the time, you're too nice.
Well, by girls?
Yeah. You're too nice. And I was like, how can you be too nice? I don't get it. How can you be too nice? And then it kind of, as I got older, I was like, I kind of get it now. Like, if you're full on, like, oh, I really like you, blah, 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 you're really attractive, blah, blah, the girls are like, move away from me, like, give me a bit of space.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're like, like, if you just kind of allude to it, but you're never really, like, in their face with it, surely that's...
I know what you mean.
Do you know what I mean?
It's just a very...
But surely, but then again...
But then there's some girls out there, I'm sure, who are going to be like, oh yeah, treat me like a princess.
Oh yeah, for sure. But have you got to be the twat to get there? Have you got to be the twat to break down a barrier?
I don't know.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a hard question.
Girls, and the other thing I keep saying at the minute is like, oh, I want someone who's going to... Like, where's the person who's going to take me to a hotel and put rose petals on the bed?
I literally saw that on the way there.
Right? But then if you message a girl and was like, oh, like, I can't wait to put rose petals in a hotel I'll take you to.
Yeah, well, see...
Right? She's going to be like, nah. But she wants that. So how do you win?
Because no, but the thing is, I can relate to that. Cause if a girl ever messaged me like, oh, yeah, rose petals, I'd be like, what the fuck? But if it actually happened, I'd be like, yeah, no. I think it's...
But this is the question. So have you got to be the twat at the beginning to get the dates, and then once you get the dates and get comfy with that person,
I just wouldn't act up. I'd literally just be myself. Like, I've just learned.
But the worst part is, I think I've become less nice.
I think
not in general, but
I think if you find that person, you've honestly got to be yourself to find that person, and you shouldn't change or act any way.
I don't act that way. It's just how I've become.
Well, maybe you should change it back, you know.
But you just told me not to change.
Shit.
Yeah,
no, it's a bit of a...
But no, I think it's an interesting concept to talk about, because, like you said, that you want someone to keep you on your toes, and that chase does keep you on your toes.
Yeah, no, 100%. I wouldn't want someone who would, like... It is hard, because I wouldn't want someone who would, like, simp over me and be like, oh, yeah, oh, I really like you, like, straight away. I'd be
because surely then, this comes back to that, when you said earlier people forgive it, is that because the person who forgives it is too...
But do you think that's from... Do you think, like, people see that and they're like, oh, this is mushy, this is wet, that kind of thing.
And the toxic masculinity and the fact you can't show emotion.
Because I actually think I suffer from that.
What? Toxic masculinity?
No,
it's not. It's not.
No.
It's not a disorder.
Nah. No, but I mean,
what's wrong with me?
I just got
toxic masculinity.
Yeah, no, mate. Like, I've had situations before where girls have been like a bit full on, and I've just been like, When in reality, I'm like, it's not bad, but I'm thinking like, oh, if my mates ever saw me like be like that, I couldn't like.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean, but yeah,
yeah.
I don't know.
Like you look at a message and you're like, oh, that's a bit.
It's a bit mushy.
It's a bit like too mushy.
Like,
have you ever sent a message and you look back at it like?
Back in the day.
No. Let me like.
Not recently. I don't
Nah, but let's say like you've been like talking for a bit, yeah, and like you're in that mood and you text it and you're not in that mood and you look back at it.
Different.
No, but do you know what I mean?
I'm in that mood. It's different. I know what you mean. I do know what you mean because I have done that. Well, not recently, but I have.
Yeah, me neither. What?
But
what?
You can. It's fine.
What?
This is that comes back to the toxic masculinity. You can.
Nah.
You can share it just because I don't do
it.
I never knew that.
I never knew that. Danny, get me in the shooter.
What? No, I never knew that. Good stuff. But yeah, no, I think there's a lot of. It's interesting. There's a lot of stuff you can talk about around that area.
Yeah.
And like, because I do think, and I don't think it's unhealthy actually. I think that kind of chase and the whole like give me a challenge. I think that's quite healthy.
I do.
I think that brings out.
That, yeah.
I think that brings out yourself.
Like, your true self.
Yeah, because you're having to work to impress that person. Like, well, not impress them because obviously I feel like you've already. They know from the start. I reckon they know whether they're going to give it to you or not. Or they have an inkling towards it.
Yeah.
But they kind of want to see your attitude and like who you actually are. Which is why they keep their barriers up. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it works both ways because like if you just jump into something with someone straight away, like the first time you met someone, if you got with them and were in a relationship, then you're gonna the problems are gonna arise when you start finding out more things about them and you don't like. Whereas if you have those barriers and you realise, oh, actually, I really do actually quite like this person, then you're talking more along the lines. I also think people have a need for it, and there's too much comfort around our age. We're way too young to be diving into things. Way too young. There's minimal people that stay together.
My parents.
Don't get me wrong.
My parents got together at 16.
Don't get me wrong. People do.
They're like what 56 now.
Yeah, but
50. Yeah, no, 40 years from.
I think that's 1 in a million though. I think my dad was. I think my mum was 20 when she first met my dad.
Yeah, no,
but I feel like society's changed. That was more common back in the day.
Yeah, no, I think the massive thing is like meeting people out. Do you know what I mean? It just don't happen. Like I mean, it does, but it doesn't happen to the like amount like now.
For sure.
And it's like we said last episode with like Instagram followings and be like, oh, she's got 50k, I ain't gonna approach her.
No
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That never happened back in the day.
Mad,
Your mum wasn't like, he's got
65 friends on Facebook.
Only 45 likes. You know?
Yeah.
Nah.
He's only got 4 contacts on MSN. We are paying him.
MSN.
But I was thinking about that. We could do a nostalgia episode.
Well, like throwbacks.
Talk about all the nostalgic things we've ever used to have. Like 64 Zoo Lane.
64. Yeah.
Bang on.
Yeah,
See,
man.
bang on. I think we could get some topics around there.
Yeah, 100%.
But no, I think again we've covered off quite a lot today. Done well.
Yeah.
I do. It's hard because we've kind of touched on a couple of little bits.
Yeah.
So I feel like there are more bits we can dive into, but I think we've done enough.
Yeah, no, I think that's good. I think we covered a lot on that, and you know.
But yeah, cool.
100.
Well, thanks for listening. Make sure you subscribe, leave a like, turn on the notification bell.
Do it.
And we'll see you in another 2 weeks when this one's out for the next episode. Peace.
Peace out.